Good evening, good evening, good evening, good evening. Hello and welcome out there. I hope everything's going well for you this evening. Welcome into my kitchen. Pull up a chair, get a drink, sort yourself out, sort your life out, whatever you need to do. So, where are we today? I hope we're all doing fine and dandy. I'd love for you to drop in and say hi on the chat just to make sure I know I'm not completely talking to myself. Something a little different tonight then. I thought I would just completely randomise it. I will go through that in just a moment, but I've got a bunch of things in the fridge and the cupboard, and we're going to roll a roulette wheel and see exactly what comes up. Let's just pop that over there a minute. Yeah, hello Hydrolive, good to see you. Always welcome. I don't know if I'm going to get up to the heights of gastronomy that I know you prefer tonight. I'm going to do what I can, but as I literally don't know what I'm cooking, we'll have to wait and see exactly what comes up. Hope you're all doing well. Oh, something on there. Let's just get rid of that. Yes, I hope we've all been keeping well. For those of you watching me on YouTube, I hope you've also been catching up with my Heston Christmas series, Hydrolive. I know you have, you've been commenting, top guy. Yeah, so I'm just going to click around all my various applications and make sure everything's doing what it's supposed to be doing, make sure it's all live the way it's supposed to be live. I just like that belt and braces of knowing it is actually working the way it should be. There, that's the one. Good, good, good. That's all behaving itself. Lovely, lovely. Well, as I said, I'm going to figure out what we're going to cook in a minute. I've broken my dinner into various categories. I made a simple quiche today. Not much on that front. Love a quiche. Love, love, love a quiche. Yeah, even like I love homemade ones as well. You know, loads of pastry, loads of wobbly fillings. Always enjoyable, even if you buy the pastry case because you can't be bothered today. I love a quiche. Always welcome. Probably not a quiche today. I don't know. I haven't set myself many rules because I don't really know how this is going to go. But I'm essentially going to split up what I'm going to make into. Just remind myself. I'm going to pick up or get a wheel to pick a protein for me. It's going to pick a carbohydrate, a vegetable, and I've also added a curveball set of ingredients as well. More on those in just a second. So let's spin over to the wheel and we'll talk through some of the options. It's being unhelpful. Did this to me earlier, so I'm just going to reselect it. Excuse me a minute while I fix that. You really don't need to see that screen, do you? That screen's no use to you at all. Typical. It was working a minute ago and now I go to use it and it's being weird. Right, let me just add something on quickly. There it is. Lovely, that's better. Right, I've just got to do a bit of sort of fiddling about because it chose to break the second I put it on screen. We'll just move that there. We'll move that there. I think that's right. Excellent. Good. I'm just going to resize it a bit because I don't like how it looks. There. So what have we got on the wheel? We've got beef, we've got chicken, we've got salmon, we've got sausages. So we're going to use the wheel to figure out which of these we're going to cook. So let's pop that on and let's give this a spin. Oh, I thought that was going to be salmon, but it's sausages. Interesting. All right. Well, that's our protein decided. Let's have a look at our veg. So I've put a bunch of things on there. Obviously, they're going to be the hero veg. I'm going to try and feature it as much as possible. That's broccoli, cauliflower, carrots, celery, cabbage and leeks. I'm going to say this before we go because it's going to curse me. I'm kind of hoping it's not celery because I love celery, but it's not really a star ingredient, is it? It's a background star. So here we go. Watch it pick celery now. I think we're good. Cabbage. Sausage and cabbage is glamorous eating tonight. It's glamorous food. Okay, and we're going to open up our, not veg, our carbohydrate. This will probably make or break the dish. Which carbohydrate out of pasta, potatoes, rice, noodles and bread? Rice, that's not a fun choice if I'm honest. I was kind of really hoping it wouldn't be that because of the lack of flexibility there. But never mind, we shall overcome. So in this, I've got a bunch of weird things that are in my cupboard and fridge that I will endeavour to bring in now. There was some really lovely things on there that we're not going to see tonight. And it's come out with blue cheese. Well, that is a combination, all right. We're going to have to get seriously creative with that. Just come back to my main screen so you can see what's going on. Right, so I shall pop this little camera on. And for those of you that missed any part of the wheel, that's what we're going to be doing. Some sausages, some cabbage, some rice and some blue cheese. That's quite a combination. Let's have a quick brainstorm then what we can do here. So with our sausages we could turn it more to face me. There's plenty of other forms of rice. You are completely right, Hydrolyte. Risotto rice, sushi rice, yeah. I'm just thinking within the context of a live stream, you know. Risotto could be quite tedious. Not terribly exciting to watch. So sausages we can have as is, or we can split up, and we can actually, I think what might be better is to turn the, to skin these and combine with the blue cheese so we get like a sausage patty. And so we'll have some form of sausage patty with blue cheese. That does say cheese, I promise you. I think with that it's going to be nice if we combine actually some scorched cabbage and I'm still not entirely sure what to do with the rice just yet, other than obviously just cooking it in the standard way. I might have to come back, well, I say come back to it, that's probably one of the first things I should get on, because obviously the rice can cook and just get on and do its own thing while I do other things. So, if anyone in chat has some interesting ideas, I'd love to hear them. What I'm going to do is I'm just going to pop you on to be right back, and I'll go and get these things. Do I need to? Actually, no, I think all of these are in the house. Some of them are, some of the ingredients I might have had to use were in the garage, out in the cold fridge. So I thought I'd have to go and get them. But I think actually all of these are going to be inside. So let's pop this. Where can I pop this? I think over there. Don't know how visible it is. We could peel off the cabbage and add the sausage with the blue cheese. Yeah, I'm thinking of doing something quite like that, actually, Hydrolyte. Yeah, I'm thinking of something like that. Let's go and fetch all this stuff while I'm thinking. see what we end up with. I promise you, I'm just to one side over in the fridge, getting all the cool stuff. Just got the sausage. The cabbage is in here, I know it is. If you are new to the stream, you'll know. Always got some rustling going on, always got some rustling. Whee! And we'll get the rice out. A particularly glamorous set. We might need a broth to cook the cabbage in. Yeah, I mean, I haven't set myself hard and fast rules about what else I can use. You know, I'm going to use stock, a stock pot, probably. You know, salt, pepper, spices, and, you know, cream, milk, butter, eggs. You know, I'm not going to limit myself to this is it. I've only got to use these ingredients. Can't use butter, can't use oil or nothing. Just, you know, getting the creative juices flowing. So I knew I had a couple of sausages that needed eating up. A couple of sausages there in the pack. Just pork sausages, nothing sexy. I knew I had some dolce latte, the creamy blue cheese. It works really well as an ingredient because it's quite soft and it's not super strong. I've got some rice, you don't need to see that. And I've got the majority of a cabbage. I used a quarter of it in a Marco Pierre white recipe yesterday, which hopefully will hit the channel after the Heston series has finished. So I think, just to, again, buy myself thinking time, I'm going to put the kettle on so we get some hot water going. Meanwhile, I'll be making a sausage mixture and turn those into some interesting patties, I think. Let's get a bowl going. Let's move this up a bit so you can see what's going on up there. That looks good. And I'll start by skinning the sausages. I kept all the gadgets out. I've got the air fryer just in case. I was going to put the oven on, but it doesn't feel like I'm going to need the oven tonight. So I'm just peeling the sausages there. There's my little tub gone. There we are. For my junk. Can't see the other end of the skin. It was here a minute ago. If you're out there in Twitch land, if you're out there in YouTube land, it'd be lovely to know what you've been doing today, particularly what you've been eating. What have you been eating today? Have you been out doing Christmas chores? Getting some presents, getting some decorating done? Seeing people because it's the last chance you've got before the big day, maybe? What else have you been up to? Or have you got a takeaway in? It's just one of those nights. Or maybe you're making sausage and blue cheese patties with cabbage, in which case I'd love to know how it's going on, how that's going for you. There we go. Just breaking that up. Only cooking for me, by the way. I'm not cooking for a cast of thousands. So, you know, I also don't mind if it's rubbish, because it's only myself to blame. Got a big chunk of that blue cheese. I'm just going to take the rind off because I don't think it's going to blend well. Do you know what? We're calling it blue cheese, so let's double that up. I'll drop something on the floor. Little piece of rubbish in there. And so, for the convenience of a live stream, in fact, I don't know that this is going to work. Let's do it by hand. I'm going to cook rice on the hob, which I haven't done for years because I bought a rice cooker about 4 years ago and I've never then needed another way to cook rice. Hello, that British homestead. Lovely, lovely, that British homestead. Guys, if you're interested in growing your own food and just managing your own property, then I really recommend you go and follow that British homestead. Lovely Nick over there. Goes live, it feels like every day, live from her allotment. Usually little kids wandering around. It's great fun. Hope you're well, Nick. Thanks for dropping by. Just going to clean up my hands. Excellent. Right. Hello twice. So good you said hello twice. Thanks. Yeah, no problem, no problem. Nick, you've joined me in a... oh my goodness. Mint cornetto. Thank you very much. Thank you so much. That's very cool of you. Thank you. Those of you that don't know, you can see at the bottom there, I was dared almost by a listener to spend the night at Marco Pierre White's Cotswolds Hotel, and fingers crossed I could snag an interview with the guy. I can't make any promises about that. He's notoriously reticent to do that sort of thing, to just plebs. So I don't know, but we'll give it a go. So thank you again so much. Thank you, Mint Cornetto. That's a fantastic name as well. My favourite of all the cornettos. I love a mint choc chip ice cream. Nick, you love my split screen? Yeah, I've got all kinds of little gadgets here. It's nothing cool. The same camera I do all my filming with for everything else. I've got an old mobile phone, literally a 8-year-old mobile phone that's over there, here, and a little gadget I can turn it on and off, which is quite handy. Right, sausage patties to one side. I think I'm going to just pepper them up a little bit, give them a little zip, just to boost those flavours. Black pepper and blue cheese, I think is really cool. Right, let's get that rice on. I'm going to cook the rice behind me because, hey, there's nothing going on other than watching rice. So I'm just going to add a layer of rice, get that out of the way. No, it's right in the way. Great idea. I'm going to quickly knock up some stock. Yes, from a stock pot. What of it? Just to boost that up. What other flavours could I put with that? I'm just going to use a chicken stock pot. Chicken stock pot, as per Marco himself. Mint cornetto, thank you again for the tip just then. What did the wheel turn up to be cooked? I was hoping it might be big enough back here, but it's not. It's quite small. But the wheel span for our protein sausages, for our carbohydrates, some rice, which I'm just getting on. The vegetable is some cabbage, and some blue cheese as like a weird ingredient. So I've already blended the blue cheese and the sausage meat together, so they're going to become patties. I'm now just making some stock so I can start hydrating my rice. Hydrating? Why did I say hydrating? Cooking, that's what we say. And I'll just let that simmer away behind me while I get on with everything else. Mint Cornetto suggests turmeric, cinnamon stick, raisins. Raisins. Interesting. Okay. Well, do you know what? Given that you just tipped, let's do it. Let's do it. I'm just going to start with stock though. Can't go wrong with stock. I might not have cinnamon stick. I've definitely got turmeric and raisins. Raisins and blue cheese. You know what? I think that's going to work. The cinnamon might be a bit mad. Do you wash your rice? That British Home said. That is a good point, actually. Often I usually do. Am I going to bother today? Get the sieve out just in case. I find you get cleaner rice that doesn't stick together if you do that. So let's do that a couple of times. Just going to rinse it through, just off camera for a second, guys. Just rinsing that rice off. Just gently, I'm not going to go mad. You're supposed to keep washing it and washing it until it runs clear, aren't you? Let's look in my spice cupboard and see what I can find. What do we got then? Definitely got turmeric. That's a given. Do you know what? It's a Saturday. Let's have a bay leaf. Go mad. I sometimes have cinnamon sticks. I don't always though. Cardamom. Sometimes I usually get them and I use them straight away and then I don't need them again for 6 months. Oh, actually, I've got one. It was written in the stars. I've got one left in a jar. So in he goes. Reminder to get some more. Stick that over there. And obviously turmeric, you don't need a great deal. Just like half a teaspoon there, that'll be enough for this recipe. I love a star anise too. I use them in all sorts of cooking. Ground cinnamon will work too, yeah. I've just made a mess because I was looking at chat and not properly concentrating on what I was doing, so I've spilt this stock everywhere. So in here we've got turmeric, cinnamon stick. Oh, we were going to put some sort of dried fruit. Well, I made my Christmas pudding the other week, so I've got a load of dried fruit. Little handful of dried fruit in there. What are people suggesting in there? I saw something. Pilaf is rice with thyme, bay leaf, chicken stock and grilled onions. Yes, you're not wrong. You're not wrong. But we are somewhat winging it today. But, you know, these kind of flavours dictate a certain direction, right? So let's just cover that to about half the depth. Twice the depth, sorry. Get all those loose ones off the side, tiny bit more. Now I'm going to pop that behind me because it's just rice cooking, nothing you need to see there. Get the lid on. Oh, not that one. That one. We'll just bring that up to temp and then drop it right down, let it finish with the thing off. Got a little bit of stock here. I think I'm going to use that later on. So I'm guaranteed to forget that by putting that over there. I should probably... So that's going to take the longest, rice, right? That's going to take sort of 15 minutes doing its thing, enjoying itself. So, Mint Cornetto, you picked up that recipe somewhere years ago, throwing nuts too for crunch. I don't disagree. We've got loads going. I've got loads of nuts again hanging around the house at the moment just because of the time of year. Let's think about our cabbage. This is a sweetheart cabbage. I think I'm going to do a nice quarter cabbage. There we go. So I've got an idea. Let's take off this frilly bit at the edge. I'm going to try something with that later. Something else I'm pretty sure I'm going to forget. But yeah, I've just got this heart of cabbage, which I'm going to put into a pan and get going on. Again, this is another one that takes a little while, sort of about 10 minutes or so. Let's get that cabbage out of the way. Quick drink. Cato, hello. Nice to see you. Thanks for dropping by. If you can squint, you can see what the wheel chose over there on that whiteboard. That way. You'd have to squint. I'll catch you up if you are on the tiniest mobile screen though. Maybe you're watching it on your watch. Really hard to see. Let's have a swap about so I can get this over here. Hope we don't break anything. Oh, good, good. Right, let's put the cheese over there for a minute. Get rid of my cinnamon. Cato, mint cornetto. Mint cornetto. I used to curate menus for places. No, not me. I don't think so. You've either got the wrong website or the wrong idea. I don't know. Certainly eaten at a lot of places that have menus. Those of you familiar with this stream will know that I'm still struggling a little bit with this hob. It's got on the fry setting, but I'm going to knock it down a bit. I'm still working out how this works. Let's put you over there for now. So I'm just going to bring this pan up to heat, excuse me, then dry. Going to add in the cabbage so that this whole cruciferous nature just goes lovely and black, and then add some butter and some of our stock, and then put a lid on, and I'll finish it over the back there. Just check how he's doing. He's bubbling up nicely, so I'm going to bring the temperature down a bit now. That's our rice over there. Just waiting for this to get nicely up to temp. I think I'm going to open a window so we don't have the smell of burnt cabbage everywhere. Good. Right, I suspect this is going to make a load of smoke. Let's find out. It's making a sizzle, that's a good sound. I'm going to apply some pressure, just like Maximo Park. Do you prefer electric or gas cooking? Well, I think on the hob, gas is just supreme. This is an induction hob, and this is, apart from once when I was on holiday and they had an induction hob, it's supposed to be super easy to control, but I don't really know what I'm doing. Also find it a bit irritating, but there we go. Starting to get some colour on there, which is good. Starting to get that cabbagey smell in the air now. But electric for the oven, best thing to have. Mint Cornetto says, Le Croiset has some nice sales on for Black Friday. All the good stuff sold out fast. Blows me away, the Dutch ovens are now like £500 sterling. Yeah, Le Croiset, so good. So good. I've got several Le Croiset items, which I've been lucky enough. There's a little salt pig just there, which was a gift once. There's also, oh no, he's not there. He's under there, don't worry. There are various casseroles I've been given over the years, which are great. Really appreciate them. So I've got a nice burn on that now, which is exactly what I wanted. Guns for Hire 98, how is everyone? Hello, welcome in. How are you doing today? Whereabouts in the world are you from, Guns for Hire? I don't need your postcode, I'm not trying to dox you, just interested where you're watching from today. Nick at That Brush Home said, do you like the lights over the worktop? Just got mine fitted at it. Oh, excellent, well done. Yes, those lights there, they look nice, but they're really good for filming as well, because I think they just add some depth to everything. But you've never cooked with gas. You've always had electric in your places, or an Arga? You're an Arga kind of person, aren't you? Make soup every week in my Le Creuset Dutch oven, the best. Yeah, I mean those Le Creuset casserole pots just last forever. So I'm just going to knock the heat right down now while I add some bits to this. Then I'll transfer it over here so it can just carry on doing the cooking. But speaking of soup, Cato, I've just before I joined the call, is this a call? I think it's probably a video, isn't it? Ordered a soup maker, you know, one of those sort of blender-like gadgets. That's far too hot. This time of year, I'm going to transfer that over here, put the lid on. I'll come back to what I was saying in just a moment. Right, so that's not a super high heat. It's just going to bubble away. We're going to reduce away some of that. Yeah, I've got one of those electric soup makers on order. It's on its way, so I'm looking forward to trying those. We get through so much soup this time of year, it just made sense to have one. Mint Cornetto, the salt pidge is gorgeous. Yeah, done a lot of years service, that one. Picked them up in the sales, got one of the pumpkins. I've got something like that. Is it in arm's reach? Not quite, not without making a load of racket. I've got a couple of little pumpkin dishes that were gifted to me. They're only good for like putting olives in or a dip or something like that. If you have an outlet near you, I'm not sure where in the world you are, Mint Cornetto, whether you're in the UK or not, but if you have an outlet, I've found Le Creuset have outlets on those places where you get, you know, the stuff that the brands are finished with. Nick, you're asking, yeah, the lights. Yeah, check it out. Do a few test films, see what it's like. Why do I say gas is better? Well, it's not easy to see in the angles I've got set up, and I don't want to move everything because this poor little camera over here will fall over. But it's the control you get of gas. So this burner here, my largest burner, I don't think I've ever used it past setting 5 and it goes up to 9. It's so powerful, but I can take it right down to 1 and there's almost nothing happening. But it just keeps everything ticking over really nicely. Okay, I think the rice is on the verge of needing to be turned off. A little bit longer. Oh, the cinnamon's really strong in that. So I just like the control of gas hobs, and also, obviously, as soon as you turn it off, we're done. There's no more gas happening. So, rice is going, cabbage is going. Sausage isn't going to take very long to cook, really. I'm going to cook it like a burger, a couple of minutes each side. So we could probably do with some sort of sauce that's going to tie that together. A sauce that's going to tie together cinnamon flavoured rice and pork with blue cheese is going to be some ask. But I wonder if we go for something warming. Sort of heading into sort of curry sauce territory, you know, Chinese chip shop curry sauce type thing. I'll have a think about that. Yes, Cato, as you say, that control is the key. Gas is really great for it. I mean, kind of to you in Ireland, there's an outlet near Dublin that do very good sales. Some of the bat mugs, I don't know those. They were trying to 42. Woohoo! Is that just like an exchange rate thing or a? Oh no, I see you've put 25 euros there. So I'm just keeping an eye on two things there. We've got the cabbage going just here. That's just ticking away, ticking away. But it's, I don't want it to reduce to nothing. So that's got butter and the stock in there. But I might turn it in a minute so that it's getting, so the sort of steam is going up inside it. The rice, I think we are seconds away from turning it off and just letting it do its thing, like go absorption. So keep an eye on that. But yeah, I would like to get some sort of sauce going, I think. Do I cheat? What do we think, chat? What should we? Do we need a sauce going on? It feels like it needs a sauce to me. Cabbage, rice. Cabbage and rice, yeah, all right. and then the blue cheese patties. What do we think? Are we going to get away with it? Are we going to be all right without? I know what Marco Pierre White would say. He'd say it needed a sauce, but, you know, he's not here. Yeah. Thanks, Cato. I was hoping you'd say, no, it's fine, Gary. You're doing enough work. Don't worry about doing any more. Do you have an idea for a sauce? That would be really handy. Okay, let's get something going. Cheese butter bechamel. Ooh, lovely, but I'm not sure with the rice. I'm not sure. I can't remember if this one works on it. This is the other thing about induction I hate, is not every single one of the pans I own works on here. Let's get the... Yeah, I think it would be complaining by now if this was not working. Yeah, exactly. Shall I go with the rice? That is the sticker with this one, is the rice. And as soon as it came up on the board, I thought, I'm not sure I should have put rice in this list. I had in my head little inklings of ideas I could do. But I think most of them I just went, oh, what's a list of carbs? And I just wrote rice down. And I probably shouldn't have written rice down. I probably should have done something or just left it off. Right, that's heating up. So, let's grab a bit of onion. Because all good recipes start with an onion, right? Le Guide Culinaire has plenty of recipes for sauces. I mean, it does, but I'm not sure I've got the time to check that. If I'm honest, I have a book by Michel Roux Senior, and it's just called Sauces, and it's so good. I mean, so good. You know, it's got one of everything in there, and I can read it like a piece of prose. It's so useful. And how did I know, Hydrolythe, you'd go there? You know, you weren't going to say, you know, check out Jamie's 5-minute meals, were you? You were going to go to the top end. Excuse me, my head's not there, is it? Let me turn that off a minute, because we don't need that. Let's just dice this up, a demi-glace. Well, yeah, I mean, the cheese is still going to be, the rice is still problematic, shall we say. Right, just half a red onion there. We don't need much. I would clarify some butter if I had time. Oh, mint cornetto, thank you very much for that boost, that rally cry. Yes, for getting to 50. Right, I am turning off the heat on the rice now. Just let that sit. Hopefully that's okay. Cheese curry sauce. Bloom spice and the melted cheese, not sure if it's a thing. I don't know if it's a thing either. We could be on the brink of a new cuisine here. But I'm probably not going to try that. But I'll tell you what I will do, as we talked about it earlier. Let's put a star anise in it. I think that could unify it, you know. Not much. Let me put him back on again. I'm going to put... These are quite strong star anise, although looking at my tub, I need to replace them. 2 little nubbins. Change hands. 2 little nubbins of star anise. Going to go in there. There's no noise, so let's change function on that to one of those. Just going to heat that gently. I have a recipe of curry sauce in front of me. Who by, Hydrolythe? I'd be interested to know whose you're looking at. Goes the red onion. How's the angle on that? Not too bad, could be better. Just got to get the door, so give me 1 second. Sorry about that. Escoffier. But I bet Escoffier sauce says something like, take curry powder and mix with butter, serve. His recipes are notoriously difficult to follow. Right, I'm going to check my cabbage. So a lot of that stuff has really thickened down now. It's completely tender. It's going to need seasoning before we serve. But I think I'm just going to turn it and just leave it there. So our cabbage is done. That's not getting cold. You thought we said Biscoff. Well, there's room for one more ingredient in this recipe yet, Nick. Right, I'm just taking it off the heat, which is going to annoy that no end. I'm just thinking about some booze to put in here. What have I got that would work really well? I've got some port. So I've just put some port into that, and just going to reduce that down, make that sticky. So I think we need a bit more stock, don't we? Probably. Finish that off. Apple brandy. Yeah, I don't have anything. The closest thing I've got is either Cointreau, orange, or cherry brandy of some description. Rice looks good, cabbage is good, so I think I'll add stock to this sauce. Apple brandy sounds amazing just for drinking, and then apple will go really nicely with the sausages, of course. I just want to reduce this to, I've got red on black there, so you're going to struggle to see what I'm doing, but I'm going to reduce that right down, and then we'll add some more stock. I should have had that stuff, this cabbagey water. I think I'm going to, you know. That's nearly there. This one is onions, celery, parsley, thyme, bay leaf, mace, flour and curry. I mean, sounds good. Okay, I'm going to knock this right down now. I'm going to add that reduced butter cabbage stock. Is that a real phrase? I don't know. We'll soon find out. Just a little sauce in there. And again, I'm going to take this over to the back and just leave it be. Very rich, very red. It's quite sweet at the moment. That's okay. I'm not going to salt it now. I'm going to leave that for the end. We'll check for seasoning. Let's get a pan on. This one definitely doesn't work on induction, I know that. I need to get myself another couple of smaller pans for live streaming, you know, because I always end up running out of space. What? It's just reheating, I think. Oh, there we go. There we are. So, this is now a pan that's going to be for my sausage. Did you see the recent Adam Byatt video of glassy parsnips cooked like a pan of butter? No. Who is Adam Byatt? The name rings a bell, but I can't place him. I can't place him. I do know. Yeah, we'll still do something with these in just a second. I'll come back to those. I'm going to get a plate because I think at the last minute we're suddenly going to need to go. Do we need to bowl it? We might need to bowl it, you know. I don't know. I'm going to go with this plate. Let's get rid of some of the rubbish I've got knocking about. You lot, go over here. I hate it when I'm messy. You know, it's so much easier to cook when you're being tidy. What's that in there? I have no small pans, says British Homestead. Teaching your daughters to cook, good for you. So there'll be many things burnt onto them, had to bin them. Yes, well, places like Tesco do extremely cheap pans that are really handy for that sort of thing. Nick, this one, it's really thin, but it's non-stick and it cost me £4. And so you could get a couple of those. It's very lightweight, but you only have massive bulk pans. Cato's also watched the Adam Byatt, the chef in the past year with that Trinity restaurant. Check out the video. It's Mark. That's not always. Don't use it. Don't play with it. No, the more I read about it, the more it doesn't ring a bell. Maybe I'm mistaken, but I will check that out. Thank you for the tip. So a little oil in here. Remember these guys from the start of the video? Oh, I think that's going to be too hot. I can just feel the wibbly heat coming off of it. Get rid of that. Wash my hands. Get a fish slice. I'm just going to press that down. Get a nice flat McDonald's style patty. I have got a meat press behind me, but I can't be bothered to get it out. Or any big supermarket, Nick, is going to have their own range of cheap pans, whether it's Aldi and Lidl, Tesco, Asda, you know, the larger ones that have got a proper homewares department. They're going to have that. So if you remember, these are pork sausage, blue cheese, little black pepper. That's all these are. I can smell the blue cheese, that's coming out. In fact, let's get a pointing device. You can see here the cheese is coming out into the pan. So good luck dishwasher cleaning that up. Give them a flip. You see the cheese is not really blended in that one. Getting the pointing device again. In fact, let's do that. See that the cheese is coming through there. Go that way a bit and you see what's going on. Very good. Anyone else making pork patties with rice and cabbage tonight? No? Okay. Mint Cornetto would have suggested sausage, meat, rice, cabbage, a Cajun gumbo. Not bad. It's the blue cheese that knocks this one to 6, to be honest. Cornetto. It's the blue cheese. Let's knock that down again. Oh, these are nice and tender, actually. You can see they want to fall apart in a good way. Just probe these guys. They're only like 35 degrees. The cheese is okay, obviously doesn't really need cooking. But that pork really wants to be up in the 60s. You love them, you mean sausage meat wrapped in cabbage in tomato sauce. Yes, what is that called? That's called something, isn't it? You eat a lot of pork mince is cheap? Yeah, turkey mince is often really cheap, Nick. And obviously, depending on what you do with it, can really taste quite similar to pork mince, depending on exactly what's going on. I often find you can get those bags of frozen beef and pork together, and they're really economical. Really economical. Why do I put my probe away? I'm going to need it. You can all see it, can't you, where I put my probe? It's all going to get a bit, it's wrapped in there, that's where it is. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to push these guys to the middle where there's no fat and just let that radiant heat continue cooking them. Lovely crust on there, really happy with that. Then I'm going to take these cabbage trimmings, I'm going to put them right in the fat and make sure they are well on the heat. And those little cabbage trimmings, I'm going to sort of deep, shallow fry, if you know what I mean. Cornetto, you just made some tomato tortillas. Mortadella bruschetta wraps for work lunches are messed up. You've doubled the amount of baking, the tortillas kept shrinking to half size. Isn't that weird? But double the amount of baking soda, they would shrink. I suppose they're puffed up, have they? And they collapse down. Love mortadella in this house. I think it's really underrated. Like, nobody talks about it. My wife loves a mortadella pasta dish. That's mortadella, pasta, you know, penne or fusilli, lime, parsley, mustard, oil, parmesan. Really, really lovely pasta lunch. Very filling, full of flavour. Yeah, really good. It's a Nigella recipe from Nigella Express. Right, these boys, they're going to come out to one side now while we finish these off. That's in that oil that's flavoured with pork and a bit of cheese in there. What have you said there? That's what you're thinking. A big cast iron tortilla press. Transfer the pan. Yeah, I think the bicarb must go inflate them and then they just collapse as they cool. I'd rested for an hour. Not my area of specialty, so I don't know. Mortadella, yeah. I mean, all those cured meats are great paired with a cheese, aren't they? Right, I'm just going to reheat this sauce and then finish it. I know it needed a little salt. I also want to fish out those star anise because they are not my favourite thing to eat. Where's my crap bucket? There it is. They're nearly there. They're turning golden at the edges. I'm going to crank that up a little bit because I really want them to go a little bit crispy on the edge. Right, let's check the rice. He looks all right. I fish out the bits and the bobs. Probably needs some salt, I imagine. Nice and loose. Just a single wash, you remember? Yeah, it just needs a hint of rice, of salt, I think, just to finish it. And a quick taste of this. It's good, it's quite sweet. It's had a little white pepper to it, so as not to spoil the look. Sorry if you're commenting on chat right now, I was just double checking everything. Only just discovered the Knorr wine stock pots. Yeah, not easy to get hold of. When you can get them, great. Right, I've made too much rice here. One of my weaknesses in life is how to measure rice. These are perfect now, just what I wanted. So let's get them out of the way. Wanted to turn them into little crispy bits. Let's get that out of the way. Let's turn it to plate o'clock. There we go. So we've got our rice here, which, as Cornetto suggested, studded with dried fruit, fresh from the Christmas pudding. There's even a bit of citrus peel in there. I just saw it. A bit of citrus peel in there. That's that for now. Let's grab this. Thought I had tongs out, never mind. I'd rather turn that up a little bit, if that's okay, so we can see that burnt edge. Reminder for those at home, I'm the only person eating this, so if you don't like fingers, tough. Lovely bit of Malden salt from just down the road from me, as most of you will know. Oh, let's put the cinnamon stick back on because it looks cool. I'm not eating it. And the bay leaf. And then we'll bring on our porky bad boys. It's the equivalent of getting home. It's shopping day tomorrow, so you've got nothing in the cupboards. Just some sausage, some blue cheese, and some rice. And just turn that so you can see what's going on. And a little of our port-based, slightly spiced sauce. Well, I've got no problem with fingers, Nick, but I know lots of people love to complain about people using fingers on the internet. You know, but if I'm the only one eating it, who cares? There we go. So, from the random wheel, which selected for us? Oh, can't fit it in. It's there. Sausages, cabbage, rice and blue cheese. We've ended up with a sausage patty with blue cheese, a burnt side of cabbage, some spiced sweet rice and a little sauce. Yeah, the patties are good, aren't they? I had a good feeling about them. I reckon it'll be good. They'll be good any time of day. Let's have a bit of those now. So I should have gone back to this one really, shouldn't I? There. Make sure it can focus. Yeah, the thing with using sausages from a pack, they're already seasoned, right? They're ready to go. so you don't really need to add anything to it. So the blue cheese just sends it off in another direction. And the rice is really tasty. And you know what? I think we did all right with the sauce as well. Hydrolyzed, we didn't quite manage the Escoffier curry sauce, but hope it's all right. I am pleased with those. They're really good. Let's get some cabbage. Richard Mac Jack, wonderful name, 8,040th of his clan. You seems you are late. Yes, we've just plated though, so it's not like you've missed the main event. So I just randomly rolled a roulette wheel and came up with sausages, rice, cabbage and blue cheese. So we've got some pork patties with blue cheese, some burnt cabbage and some sweet and spicy rice. Cabbage is good, but I've cooked it that way loads of times. Yeah, mint, I'm really happy with that. It's come out really nice. It's lovely and cooked throughout, this patty. Yeah. Do they all go together? Just about. As I said before, the blue cheese is the real pig in all of that makes everything difficult. You're from Prague, Czech Republic, Scottish nobleman. Just enjoyed the name, no problem at all. What have you been up to today? I'm just going to call you Richard. What in particular, what have you been eating? That's what I'm interested in. Have you got dinner on the go? Are you buying in food? Have you been out for lunch? What have you been doing today? Thank you for dropping by. Well, Nick, have you got sausages, cabbage, rice and blue cheese in the cupboard? You can go and make it. Yeah, I'm pretty pleased with this. Well, this was my first attempt at food roulette, right? Seeing what would happen. And I was quite pleased with the results, and I really enjoyed engaging with you guys as well, you know. Got some good ideas. It's a real team effort, this one. Cornetto always wanted to make the blue cheese dip that US people make wings. Wait for wings for the Super Bowl. Yeah. Is it not blue cheese and sour cream mixed together? Pork should be the real pig. I'm not sure what that means, Nick. Ranch and blue cheese. Yeah. It's salmon and rice, can't be blue cheese. I understand, a lot of people don't do blue cheese. My wife, really not bothered about blue cheese. But it's coming up to the time of year where blue cheese starts to shine, right? Christmas time. I was kind of hoping we'd have salmon and rice together, to be honest, Nick. I've got salmon ready for this challenge. So I'm going to have to put that in the freezer for another day. And Richard, you've been learning to cook pasta recipes. Made 5 aglio e olios and cacio e pepes. And to do them, look up recipes. Good for you, nice one. They sound like your first attempts at those. If you get a good feel for both of those, you will be opened up to so many more ideas of how to freestyle, because of course when you do something like cacio e pepe, you can change the cheese up. You can then start making the sauce a bit more complex. And the aglio e olio, again, you can add this. The simplicity of those recipes is the perfection, but in terms of extending your pasta knowledge, you can then be adding more ingredients to that and seeing what happens. I would also recommend, you know, you look at some tomato-based recipe and that gives you a lovely coverage of pasta recipes. Well done you, I'd love to hear more another time. Nick, do a poll, vote what goes in the wheel. Yeah, the only downside is, of course, enough people need to vote on it, and I need to then go and get those things before the thing. But so there's something in that. I'll go and think about it, or if you've got any ideas, you can DM me. I know I've met Nick in real life, that British homestead, by the way, which is why I'm so chatty with her. Yes, I should have guessed. The blue cheese was the real pig of the dish. Yes, yes. I get it now. Your videos are great. Thank you very much. Plus, we get the knowledge from the books your videos are based on. Get good descriptions of discussion. Oh, yeah, you were there for that, right? Oh, that video on Monday. Yeah, luckily, someone I know in real life messaged me on WhatsApp and said, that video, the audio's all screwed up. And because I've been making all those videos this week, that was one stage I'd missed, was to proof check that one video. I'd listened to them so many times, edited them so many times. Almost always when I upload a video, I then watch it on YouTube before it goes live so I can check for anything silly or stupid stuff I've missed. Or, oh, and I forgot to mention X, Y, Z. So for that video to have an issue with it, just absolutely annoyed me. So I saw there were a bunch of comments on there, people saying, oh, what's up with the audio? So thank you if you were one of those, Cornetto. No. So Richard, yeah, once you get those basics, those nice simple recipes down consistently, make your own adjustments. Very beginning, you could join at 23. Perfect, great time to learn. I'm doing what I'm doing, right? But I don't think anybody can regret learning to cook for themselves. Turn it into a joy. Cook the things you like. And it will also make you popular with friends and, partners. Now it's cooling down, right? Now it's cooling down. That blue cheese is starting to be a problem again as it starts to get a bit more solid. And it's not it's not runny anymore the way it was. But I'm really pleased with a number of those combinations. The rice and the cabbage are really good. Pork and the cabbage are really good. Pork and the rice are really good. Again, it's that blue cheese just coming in, being a right little pain in the neck. Ah, mint. There you go again. Pimping me out for Twitch. It's good. Yeah, I'm trying to make Twitch work, which is really hard. Twitch, for those of you who don't know, primarily a gaming platform, does have a food and drink section. The vast majority of food and drink on there are people in cafes and like food trucks, which are great watching. That's not the kind of thing I'm after. I'm after this sort of thing, and there are a bunch of great food creators on there. Quite a few that I know. Just checking if one of them is... Oh, actually, one of them is live now. So I was just checking that. Yeah, but it's really hard. YouTube is, for all its faults, very good at throwing a video up to you to say, try this person, try this video, see what you think. Twitch is like, you've got to go and find it. It's really hard to grow on Twitch, so thank you for that. Look, I've got dregs left. I've got a little bit of pork left. I've got a bit of rice. I've got a bit of cabbage left. More rice, which I'll probably end up putting in the fridge for tomorrow. And eating with some leftover turkey, because I've got a turkey recipe coming. At this rate, I don't know, maybe next weekend. Those of you that are watching over on YouTube, you'll know I've got a Heston Christmas series, which is absolutely killing me at the moment, but is right at the end now. But I have been filming a turkey recipe sort of thing. I won't do a vanilla recipe, that I hope to edit this week and maybe get out next weekend. We'll see. The pool and hot tub people took over the food channel there. Oh, I missed that. I didn't catch any of that. I mean, sounds kind of good. No. Well, the thing is, it depends what time of the day you stream. And you're not going to get pool and hot tub people at UK-friendly times. So I'm not going to compete. I was competing for a little while with the gargantuan Barry Lewis, who, had a Twitch front page takeover one day, and then he stopped doing lives, and suddenly the ballpark was open again. I was really like, I was just getting started on live with Twitch on food, and he was just sucking all the oxygen out of the atmosphere. I love Barry, by the way. No harm intended for Barry, but there was no room for another person, not like him, but you know, British guy in his 40s cooking in his kitchen, which is exactly what he's doing, right? Richard, you watched the episode of Heston's Perfect Christmas because of the series. It was really fun. I wonder if you'll make the gelato that's on fire. Well, if you check back on the channel 8 AM tomorrow morning, that's exactly what you're going to get. If I've got it right, yes, gold, frankincense and myrrh was today. So tomorrow will be the hot apple sorbet. So yeah, that will there. Right. Okay. I was wondering why Barry doesn't live anymore. Go love. He had some bad news in his personal life, which I won't share here. It's not my place. He did put it on various places, but he basically had a bereavement in the family, and it just kind of knocked his whole rhythm off, and he hasn't ever got back into it. I dare say maybe in the new year he'll come back to it. I do occasionally exchange words with Barry. I'm not his friend by any stretch, but I'd like to think he knows who I am. And you better believe I'd tug his shoulder and say, would you mind doing a collab sometime? And yeah, anyway, clearly hasn't happened yet. Yeah, let's start wrapping things up then. I can't thank you enough for all joining in this evening. It's been so much fun having you hang around. It's been a lot of fun. I'm just fiddling with some stuff here. I've really enjoyed the food, and I would love to do this again. I hope you guys enjoyed it too, and I'll probably take rice out of the equation. Or maybe blue cheese for next time. If you are watching me over on Twitch, thank you very much. What I'm going to do is I'm going to go and find someone cool to go and raid, because that's the only way to grow this thing. So let's go find a nice raid partner. Not that one, I want that one. For those of you on YouTube, thank you very much for doing that. Oh, there's someone. Oh, they sound interesting. Excellent. I think we're going to go and raid over to Fithiger. I don't know how to pronounce their name, but they sound very cool. So with that in mind, thank you very much for... oh, hello again, Cornetto, over on the other universe. And thank you... sorry, missing all the bye. Cato, happy Saturday, always good to see you. You don't have any social other than YouTube and Twitch, thanks for the info. Yeah, right, okay, that's before I was following Barry. All that stuff. Thank you for dropping by, Nick. Always good to see a familiar face. And yeah, for those of you over on Twitch, I'm about to execute a raid. That sounds terrible. It means I'm going to pass the stream over to someone else. So thank you very much for watching. Please hang on and join me over on that channel there. And I will catch you next time.